All right, we've now been joined by the most recent winner in the NASCAR Cup Series, Tyler Reddick, driver of the number 8 Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. Tyler, thanks for spending some time with us. An exciting week for you. You mind to give us a little bit of a recap of what life's been like since you left Road America last Sunday?
I've been really busy. The funny part is I already knew I was gonna have a really busy week between Road America and coming here to Atlanta, but the wind just made that a little bit crazier. So, we had a lot of things going on. We had to do some flying commercially for other things, like I said, before the wind. So, it didn't really change my week up that much. Other than doing a little bit of media on Friday. But yeah, it was a busy week, so I didn't have a lot of time to really relax, other than try and relax all I could on Monday. So, week flew by. It felt like 2-3 days went by, and here we are back at the track. So that's not a bad thing.
All right, we're now going to go to questions for Tyler. If you have a question, raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you, and we're going to start with Bob here in the middle.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. Last time here you had a right rear issue, right? Correct?
Yeah.
So are you concerned about that, or do you feel like you all have figured out what those issues were the last time you were here?
It is it's in the back of my head for sure. But one thing that was really interesting about those failures between myself, Ross Chastain, and Ricky Stenhouse is we were quite a bit different. A lot of the rear suspension settings. So that kind of leads me to believe that it wasn't necessarily how we had our car set up, or even how they had their car set up. Maybe it was something else. But certainly, having the bumps off of turn 2, or the really big bump that we had, smoothed down, I think would help with that. And they've obviously made some changes, put some hash marks around this racetrack, which I think is a good thing. They've worked on the front straightaway a little bit, rounding the wall. So yeah, I guess still have those concerns. But honestly, there's not much we can do about it if they do present themselves again. We'll just go out there and try and run the best race possible, and hopefully we're in a position where that won't happen again. There was I'd say probably about 15, 16 other Chevrolets out there that didn't have that problem. So hopefully, we don't have any this time around.
All right, additional questions for Tyler? Okay, we'll go back to Mark, and then up front to Nate.
Mark Garrell, PRN. I was just talking to Chase Briscoe. He's got a win. He's qualified for the playoffs, but he doesn't necessarily feel safe with 13 different winners. How do you feel like? Do you feel safe? You've got the win. Do you feel safe even though we only 3 spots left before we start getting into other areas?
I feel safe just in the sense of the speed we've had. Yeah, we got that win, which is really great, but I don't feel safe in the sense where we're by no means gonna relax a little bit, and kind of glide through the rest of the season. There's huge opportunities in front of us every single week now to really, double down on what we've been doing. It worked in our favor last Sunday. So, the goal still remains to go out there and win races. Nothing changes there. It's just we have the relief of getting that first win and validation that, hey, we can go out there and do this. So that'll just continue to be our goal. We'll try and win some more.
Did you walk in the garage area a little bit different this week than last?
Yeah, I wore a rain jacket because it's pouring. It's pretty wet out there. So, but yeah, that's the big difference, really.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll come up front to Nate.
Nate Ryan, NBC Sports. Tyler, question about your car this weekend. Are you running the digital dash camera in addition to the mirror?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do that all the races, or?
There was a couple that we didn't. I think Martinsville and Richmond, we opted with not using it, and it was unfortunately. I noticed right away how much that I was using the camera, even though that in my mind I was using the mirror above the camera. We have them kind of placed similarly together. So I was pretty interesting those 2 races that we didn't have it, going through the process of not having it, and just ultimately waking up to the fact that I used the camera a lot more than I thought. So, yeah, we pretty much run it everywhere.
So do you pretty much use it exclusively instead of the mirror? Because I've heard some guys say the mirror doesn't really give you the full picture.
Well, it's a little difficult. I'm glad we got both with the slots in the rear. windshield, just depending on the time of the day. If it's, we haven't really raced in the rain or anything like that, but we did the Martinsville test when it was wet. Having that mirror or having that camera was beneficial to some of that. So I've pretty much gotten used to using it a lot. If I could tell you what I look at first every single time I look up, I couldn't tell you. I'm probably looking at both. So they both have their advantages. You kind of know where and have a good comfort with the old school standard mirror, but you can see certain things with the camera that you wouldn't necessarily see with your standard mirror.
And it seems as if we got some news this week that it seems as if a street race announcement could be imminent for next season. Just your thoughts, like have you ever done a street race before, and do you have any thoughts on maybe what NASCAR should be looking at in terms of making sure that these cars will run well on a street course?
Street racing is not necessarily legal, so I can't really say I've done it before. No, the street course idea is a cool one. I was excited to see us do what we did on iRacing and put together the Chicago street course. That idea is very exciting to me. I'm always, I haven't had a lot of experience on road courses. They've been kind of new to me over the last couple of years. But the thought of a street course to me has been really exciting, because I really enjoyed the Roval at first because of, I think in turn 8 and just some of the corners you had there, you make a mistake, in turn 1, like at the Roval, there's a barrier, boom, you overstep it a little bit. In 2, there's another barrier. So I think the thought of that could be really exciting. It's just got to make sure that, and I feel like, just got to make sure it's not too narrow, and it seemed like Chicago could work. So I'm excited for it. I just hope we don't lose a track that is also really good for us too.
All right, I think we have a couple questions over to my right. Go ahead.
Dom Joseph, Griffin Daily News. Tyler, I asked Austin about this. He was very optimistic. In years past, one win for the team can open the floodgates for the rest of the season. Do you feel RCR is in a position to get a win for the 3-car and another one for you?
Yeah, absolutely. The speed that, there's been a couple races this year where Austin's been just consistently up front all race long. Unfortunately, it hasn't been as frequently as they'd want to hope, but they've done a really good job when they've had that speed to stay up front all day, capitalize on it, and get a good finish. So, that could happen anywhere. And, when you looked at the speed he had at Road America, I think they're pretty close to where they want to be. So it could be anywhere for either one of us, but certainly more. I would like to win again, but I'd really like to have my teammate in the playoffs with me, so that we can both take a shot at this as the season unfolds.
All right, go ahead.
Hey Tyler, Jackson Freiberger, ATL Sportsfire. First off, congratulations on your first Cup win last weekend. How big of a relief for you is that, just to get that monkey off your back, and does it make you more aggressive the next 8 races going into the playoffs?
It was really nice to check that off the list. It's a huge sense of relief, huge sense of it's validation for all of us. On the aggressive side of things, I don't necessarily think I need to get any more aggressive. I think the big thing has just been trying to manage the race for us and manage risk versus reward. So I don't know if anything really changed for us as a team. We just won a race last time we were on the racetrack, so I think we've been dialing it in and getting closer to where we need to be as a group. And obviously, we were in a great spot Sunday.
In running the Xfinity races, you running later on, do you pick those tracks out yourself, and how does that work running in the 48 car?
Well, I in a sense, yeah, I kind of got to pick and choose, but too, I was kind of like, I'll run as many as you want. So it's worked out, and they've enjoyed having me. We've been able to go out and win a race, and we've had a lot of speed at a lot of the races. Unfortunately, I've made mistakes. I've done some things that I normally don't do on Sundays, but it was unfortunately to Big Machine's demise on Saturday at Road America. I drove through too many boxes leaving, and had I not made that mistake with them, I may have made it on Sunday. So running both has been beneficial, and obviously I'm not just using Saturday to learn for Sunday. I want to go out and win with that group again. So it's been helping me for sure.
Would you credit your experience last Saturday in the Xfinity race in the 48 car in helping you win on Sunday?
In ways, yes. It's not as big of a benefit as it used to be, the braking points, the decel rates of the car, the handling characteristics are a lot different now. After spending so much time in the Cup car, and it had been a while since I ran an Xfinity car in a road course, I just forgot how scary and sketchy the Xfinity cars are. I mean, one little mistake, a little bit of wheel hop, you're gone. And the Cup car is a lot of fun, but you can just attack. Those cars are pretty hard to upset. So they're a lot different for sure now.
Thank you, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to come up front to Jeff Gluck, please, right here.
I apologize. I don't really know this, but I understand that you like ran for Bloomquist and you had success on dirt, in California growing up. But what did you get it in a car? Were you like fast right away? Were people like, oh yeah, that kid just has it? Did it take you a few years to work up to it? Like, at what point in your life did people start to go, oh, Tyler Reddick, he seems to have speed, or he's fast, or like how did that evolve for you?
Yeah, it seemed like, getting 80% of the way there, like hopping in something and getting up to speed, for me, growing up was never really a problem. It's always kind of been the little things that I struggle with in the Cup Series, just closing out the whole race, and dirt late models, kind of the same thing. Ironically, I've never even thought about that till you asked me. So, but yeah, when I jumped from the different classes running outlaw karts when I was younger, I felt like I kind of get right where I needed to be and be competitive right away. Jumping into a midget, kind of got up to speed right away when I was younger. Non-wing sprint car, same thing. The late model was the one that was kind of surprising. It was so much different. Never really had driven a car with fenders or body on it, and I was able to get up to speed pretty quickly in that heavy of a car. So I've kind of, thankfully, always kind of had that. And on dirt, and asphalt, it was a little bit different when I hopped in and ran it. Mobile, Alabama with Schrader for the first time. I was getting lapped like crazy. I had no idea what I was doing, and same thing. Salem was kind of a struggle, but I got to the bigger tracks where you're sliding the car around, like Rockingham for my first K&N start, NASCAR K&N start. It just seemed to come quick. So just that type of racing where you're sliding the car around and having to kind of use your car control really helped me to be able to be aggressive, go out there, make the mistake, catch the car, learn from it, move on, and get closer and closer. That's just the way that I learned growing up.
So was that something, like, did you have somebody teaching you in the early days, like outlaw cars, or were you just, not, I know you don't like 10-year-old car, but I mean, were you just sort of like a natural, like you just got it set and you're just fast?
Well, I guess I just learned it. I'm guessing I just learned a lot of those, tendencies and just driving style from the outlaw karts, because a lot of things would just happen really, really fast. You'd have to bend it into the corner, and you might be too sideways to straighten it up, back and forth. Like, we were running around places like Cycland and Red Bluff. Cycland was kind of the big, wide open, run the fence, run the cushion, almost reminded me of Knoxville a little bit, but to scale for those outlaw karts. Then Red Bluff was your little bull ring where you got to muscle up, you go drive it in there, be aggressive. I just think racing those outlaw karts, in my opinion, just kind of laid down the great foundation for me. It taught me a lot of car control. The sense of speed was pretty big. A couple years ago, I went out and got to drive a car around Cyclane again for the first time in like 10 years. And, I'm a lot older now, and I go 180, 90 miles an hour around a racetrack. But the speed that I had at Cyclane was kind of surprising. So I think I just learned a lot of great things from those cars. And, if you get a chance to ask Kyle about it, too, I'm sure he would have some interesting opinions. But I feel like I learned a lot of who I am as a driver from those outlaw karts.
All right, Tyler, congratulations again on that win. Thanks for spending some time with us this weekend, and we wish you the best of luck tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you
and
guys.
this afternoon, I should say.
Yeah, we could all use some luck with this weather. Thank you.